in theoretical topic we already discussed about the how to measure the plant disease intensity and plant disease severity. So as per discussion, as we know that disease incidence is nothing but the number or proportion of plant unit that are diseased. For example, the diseased part, that is plants, leaves, flower, fruits, in relation to the total number of units examined. So this is then the formula for disease incidence, and it is expressed in percentage. So different diseases, for example, in few diseases, for example, cereal smut, neck blast, brown rot of stone fruit, vascular wilt disease, for that as we know that once the incidence of such diseases occurred, so there is a chances they cause the total loss. So for calculation of that actual loss, there is one term that is called as disease severity. So with the help of the disease severity or disease incidence, we calculate how much amount of damage is there. So for that, a different grade system was developed by the scientist. For example, the scientist Horsfall and Barrett. So that scientist developed the 12 grade systems. So as we discussed in previous lecture, the different grading system was given by that scientist. So how it grades? For example, in that example, that 0 will be there. So that 0 indicates the 1% disease, at least 0 to 1% disease here. Here's that 0 to 1% disease. The next one, suppose 2 will be there. So here, suppose 1 will be there. So near about 0% disease. 2 is there. So disease will be there 0 to 3%. Suppose 3 will be there. So disease will be 3 to 6%. Suppose in grading system 4 will be there. So 4 indicates 6 to 12% disease. Then 5 will be there, so disease incidence will be a 12 to 25%. That means what? That different grades indicates the intensity of that disease here. So let us see how we calculate percent disease index with the help of formula. Then we'll see the different examples how we calculate that PDI. So for calculation of that PDI, one formula is given. As we know that it is PDI is equal to sum of numerical rating scale divided by number of leaves assessed into maximum grade. In that formula, maximum grade is already given, and the sum of numerical rating scale, that means depending on which scale is used for the assessment of plant disease, that scale is also given. So let us see the one example, then it is better for understanding. So first example is calculate the PDI of one plant. Listen carefully, because we calculate the PDI, percent disease index, for the one plant having 3 branches selected, that is upper branch, middle branch and lower branch. So we have to calculate the PDI for the different branches. So as we know that PDI is expressed in percent or percentage. So here data is given. That is here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That scale will be given here, and maximum grade is used 5 for all branches. That will be given in example. So if in case of that 0 or for upper branch, when we calculate PDI for upper branch, there is an 5 here. The 5 leaves, they show no any damage. Then 2 leaves shows some of the damage that will becomes under 1%. Then 1 leaves they comes under 2, 1 leaves they comes under 3, and 1 leaves they comes under 4. That means that 5, 2, 1, 1, 1, that is the number of leaves that are assessed with the help of that scale. So as we know that 0 indicates, that means what? There is no incidence of that disease, that is 0% disease is assessed. Then 1 indicates disease intensity will be near about 1 to 10%. 2 indicates the disease intensity will be near about 20 to 40%. 3 indicates the disease will be appears near about 50 to 75%, and 4 indicates disease will be appears up to 75 to 100%. So that indicate that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that indicates that percent of damage of that leaves. So let us very simple here, this sum, that is for that calculation just we have to write down the formula, that is PDI is equal to sum of numerical rating scale divided by number of leaves into maximum grade. So for that sum of numerical rating scale, that means what? We have to multiply that 5 into 0, that is here it will be indicate 5 into 0 plus then 2 into 1, that is 2 into 1 plus 1 into 2, then 1 into 3, and 1 into 4. So just we have to multiply the number of leaves assessed and the scale which is given and divided by number of leaves. As we know that here near about 10 leaves is assessed here, 5, 2, that is 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 10 leaves are assessed here, the number of leaves will be assessed here given. So and 10 leaves will be assessed here, so you should write number of leaves assessed 10 into maximum grade is already given in formula, that is 5, it is constant, or depending on disease that grade is also different. So 5. So just we have to do the calculation. So in that way near about for upper branch the PDI is equal to, that is 22% damage will be observed on the upper branch. Similarly here just we have to take the observation for the middle branch, that is here maximum grade is given as it is constant for all, that is 5 here, and as we know that we have to use the different scale as here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as we described in theoretical lecture and previous. So 0, that means what? 2 leaves they do not having any kind of damage, then 1 leaves having near about 10% damage, then here 2 leaves indicates near about 10 to 30% damage, 3 leaves they indicates 30 to 50% of damage, 1 leaves having near about 50 to 75% damage, and again similar here 2 leaves having the 25, that is 2 leaves shows the 75 to 100% of damage. So just put the value in given formula, that is just we have to multiply 2 into 0, 1 into 1 here, 2 into 2, 2 into 3, 1 into 4, and 2 into 5, and just we have to make the calculation divided by number of leaves. Again here 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, that is 10. 10 number of leaves is assessed 10 into disease grade, maximum grade is 5 into 100. So just we have to make the calculation. So when we make this such a calculation, so 50% of damage will be observed. Then let us see the next. Then let us see next PDI for lower branch. PDI for lower branch, that is 6, that is 6 leaves having no any kind of damage, that is 0. Then 1 indicates, that is 1 leaves having near about 10% of damage approximately. Then 2 indicates that one leaf shows near about 30 to 45% damage, one leaf shows near about 50 to 75% damage, and one leaf shows near about 75 to 100% of damage. So just we have to make the calculation. So after that calculation, the PDI for the lower branch is for 20%. So just we have to calculate the mean for the upper branch, middle branch and lower branch. Just we have to make the calculation just like this. Here 22% for lower branch, 50% for middle branch and 20% for middle branch divided by 3. So when we calculate the mean of that upper branch, middle branch and lower branch, so near about 30.66, near about 31% of that plant having damage will be assessed. So similarly, for different or just for 5 plants we have to do that is first, second, third, fourth, fifth. In that way we have to calculate for the second, third, fourth and fifth plant on upper, middle and lower branch. We have to calculate the disease severity on second plant, third plant, fourth plant and fifth plant. We have to calculate the mean, so that for second plant mean is having 31.5, for third plant 30.6, then for fourth plant 32.5 and for fifth plant 31.0. So in that way we have to calculate divided by 5. So in that way the mean for all 5 plants will be a 31.25%. That indicates that percent disease damage or percent disease index is near about 31.25%. So in that way we have to calculate the PDI for the total plant by calculating the damage on upper, middle and lower branch. For that detail you have to solve the such examples which is given in your manual. Then second, for that we then next we discuss about the second example, that is in banana field 500 plants are there. Out of that 25 plants damaged by bunchy top of banana. So as we know that bunchy top of banana is a disease that occurs on the banana which is caused by the virus. Then calculate PDI for bunchy top of banana by that field. That means how much damage is occurred due to the attack of disease, that is bunchy top of banana. So first of all, just you should write down the given data. So very simple here. For that, as we know that here 500 plants are there in field. So out of that 500 banana plant, 25 plants get damaged by bunchy top of banana. So here we have to mention that out of 500 plants, out of 500 plants 25 plant is damaged. So for calculation of PDI, that is, as we know that PDI is expressed in percent, that means what, 100. So out of 100 how much damage or how many plants are damaged here. So just we have to calculate the PDI simply, that is PDI is equal to 100 into 25 divided by 500. So near about 5% of damage is observed in banana field, that is the PDI is equal to 5%. So in that way there will be a 5% plant disease index or percent disease intensity or index for bunchy top of banana by that field. Then similarly the simple example is given. The third example is that calculate PDI for chiku or sapota plant over the area of 1 hectare land. That means here the area is given, that is 1 hectare land, where plantation is abandoned at an spacing of 10 by 10 meter and infected plants are 13. So first of all you should mention the given data, that is area is about 1 hectare and the spacing is given, that is 10 by 10 meter, and the infected plants are 13. So here, as we know that, just we have to calculate the area and spacing. So area, as we know that here, just we have to calculate the area is equal to, as we know that, area divided by spacing. Just we have to calculate the total plant population first of all for that. So area is given, that is 1 hectare. So as we know that 1 hectare is equal to, here 1 hectare is equal to the, so when we calculate the plant population, for that this formula is there, area divided by spacing. So area is equal to 10,000 meter square divided by spacing, that is 10 by 10, that is 100 meter. So by that calculation we obtain the total plant population is 100. So out of 100, as per data given in example, out of 100, 13 plants are infected. That means in the area or in plant population, that is out of 100 plants, 13 plants are infected. So for calculation of PDI, that is in percentage, so out of 100, how many plants is infected? So simply PDI is equal to, we have to calculate the formula, the 100 into 13 divided by 100. So 13% of PDI for chiku plants over the area of 1 hectare. That means 30% plants will be damaged due to the disease. So in that way, there is a very few examples also given in your manual. So you have to calculate. Next one. Next, fourth example, the plantation population, that is planted of chiku plants, that is 10 by 15 meter over an area of 1 hectare. That means here the spacing is given 10 by 15 meter and area is given 1 hectare. Number of plants infected is 23. So calculate PDI in percent. So very simple here, the spacing is given 15 by 10 meter is equal to 150 meter. Total area is equal to 1 hectare, that is 10,000 meter square. So area divided by spacing is equal to 10,000 divided by 150. So 66.6%, that is near about 67 plant population will be there. So out of 66 plant, 23 plants is damaged. So out of 100, how many plants is damaged? So just we have to calculate by formula, PDI is equal to 100 into 23 divided by 66, and in that with 34.84% PDI is obtained. That is out of 100, 34.84% plant get damaged. Then let us see the sixth example, the new type of example that will be compulsory asked for examination. That is, calculate the PDI for smut disease of wheat, in which the quadrant is given. That means what? Suppose here the quadrant is given. That means what? Suppose that quadrant, that field will be there. In that field is divided by the different quadrant. That means here that quadrant, 1 second. This is your first quadrant, second quadrant, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So in that way the quadrant will be there, and in that quadrant the plants of or the plantation of wheat is there. Wheat crop is grown in each quadrant. So in each quadrant, after taking the observation, so the following data is observed, and with the help of that following data we have to calculate the PDI for this smut disease. Okay, so here the data is given. That is, first one is there here, the 150 out of 150 plants of that first quadrant. Here the first quadrant, out of 150 plant, 10 plant is damaged, D for damage. In second quadrant, out of 160 plant, 7 plant is damaged. In third quadrant, out of 140 plant, 10 plant is damaged. Then in fourth quadrant, out of 161 plant, 16 plants are damaged. and out of 155 plants 15 plants are damaged. So that data is given, and on the basis of that data we can calculate the PDI for smut disease. So it is a very simple example. So here just we have to calculate the PDI, that is out of 100 how many plant get damaged, and after that we have to calculate the mean of total. Okay, so in first quadrant as per given data 150 out of 150 plants, here the first quadrant, out of 150 plants 10 plants are damaged. So out of 100 how many plants are damaged? So PDI is equal to, we have to put the by using formula we have to calculate 10 into 100 divided by 150. So out of 100 that is 6.66% plant get damaged. In second quadrant, out of 160 plants 7 plants get damaged. So for PDI, that is out of 100 how many plants get damaged? So by calculation 4.3 plants are damaged. For third quadrant, out of 40 plants 10 plants get damaged, and just we have to calculate out of 100 how many plants get damaged. So near about 9.9% damage will be there, that is PDI is equal to 9.9% for third quadrant. So in that way for each quadrant we have to calculate up to 5 quadrants we have to calculate. After that 5 quadrant, in fifth quadrant the 9.6 plant or PDI is equal to 9.6% or percentage index up to 9.6%. So when we calculate the mean of all 5 quadrant, so first quadrant 6.6, second quadrant 4.3, third quadrant 7.1, fourth quadrant 9.9, and fifth quadrant 9.6. So we have to calculate the mean divided by 5. Divided by 5 we have to calculate the mean. So 37.56 divided by 5. So mean is about 7.5%. So for each quadrant when we calculate the PDI, so we get the mean of that each, and for with the help of that mean we have to calculate the total plant disease damaged. So in that way the certain examples is also given in your manual. So just we have to do the practice of that examples, because same example is asked for your examination for 5 marks. So if any difficulty, so you should ask me. First of all you should read the lecture. First of all you should read the manual and the lecture which is given or which is given to you, and if any difficulty in that topic, so please ask me, because it is simple, but if you do the practice, so it looks like simple. Okay, thank you.